Do you like it? Aren't you a senior this year? You jumped from like grade 2 to 12?
Unhook it and take the cord.
Extra.
Oh, I know. I know.
It's not my fault. Maybe you should put it in I'm not the only one that got lost.
Okay. I'm going to color subsection again. Or subsection? So they can say. Subsectionals are like games, mini games. Playoffs. Oh.
I think it starts with a
Last
D.
year,
Yeah, the start, yes.
I was seated 12
You have a class too, right?
out of
Okay, because I'm in Utah.
20.
Well, we have the tutoring lab every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday
So,
for math after school.
only because I was a kid.
Yep.
I'm not losing to Bay Morning, and that was embarrassing.
Miss Sutter is not in there. It's named
It's
Mr.
just
Lebo.
1v1s.
It's across from Miss
It's
Sutter.
1v1s. Or
No, wait.
a doubles, it's 2-on-2.
We're still doing this.
Well, I really want to play
Yes, we are.
singles this year, so I can play
Yes.
Aiden Reach
Today?
this year. Aiden.
And literally,
Mr. Reach.
oh wait, bruh.
Cool.
Please don't tell me I actually finished it and just did it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? Take out your computers, get logged into the lab from last week, Thursday, ladies and gentlemen.
Not really, and it only works like half the time, but you know.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We have no question of the day today so that we can get in and get our lab done today. You need to collect all of the information today. After you're done collecting your information, you can continue with the calculations that we started from last week, Friday. Also, please keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that your quizzes from last week, Friday, are graded, and in the grade book, you can take a look at them, see how you did. If you have questions, the quizzes are returned to you. You can go into them and see how you did. Remember, if it's a question that I had to grade, it may be marked with a red X at the top, indicating that that's normally wrong. But if it's a question I had to grade, you have to look at how many points you got on it, because it'll automatically mark it as an X. Because when the computer grades it, it isn't able to grade it. So I have to go back and change the grade. Yes, Victoria.
Are we allowed to retake quizzes?
You are not allowed to retake quizzes. You are allowed to retake tests. Okay. All right. So again, today, ladies and gentlemen, remember, about 100 milliliters of water into your graduated cylinder that then goes into your can. One of the big things that will cause you to have an error in this lab is if you do not take your temperatures well. So the temperature of the water before you begin, please remember, after you turn your thermometer on, make sure it's reading in degrees Celsius, not in Fahrenheit, and make sure it's reading about 20 degrees, because if it is not, Chances are either the thermometer is bad or possibly the battery inside it. Remember to have your can sitting above the food that you are going to be burning, and then you burn the food underneath it. The other day I had somebody take and fill this can full of water, have it sitting on the side, and they wondered why they didn't get a temperature change in their can that was above the food that was burning. That would be why. That's okay, though, because I had another group who threw away their food before they got their final measurement. And I had another group who, when they took their measurement, they were 45 grams less than they should have been. Why? Because they forgot to measure this the first time with everything on it. Consistency, ladies and gentlemen. Consistency means you do the same things over and over again. That means the reason we have you measure all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is so that if the food burns and it falls apart and it lands on the tray, you've still got its mass there. So we measure all of this together. Now the next thing is you got to make sure you write down the right number, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? By the way, the paper clips, I don't care how you bend them. That's why we use them, because they are bendable. You can put them in different ways. I've had people put it up like this and poke the marshmallow through it. Absolutely fine. I don't care. For the chips and the macadamia nuts, you're going to probably have to make it into like a holder so that it is big enough to set the chip or the macadamia nut on. And then again, try to get it burning in a corner. If you hold the match right underneath the center, it will not catch on fire very easily. Try to catch a corner of it. When it's burning, make sure you're stirring your water. When it burns out, keep stirring your water. And you keep stirring your water until your temperature finishes going up and starts to go back down. You can't guess on these numbers. Well, I think it was around 31 degrees. No, that is why we are taking measurements, so that you get the exact number. 31.2 degrees, 31.3 degrees, whatever it is. Okay? Whatever it is, you get that number. Again, when you are doing this, ladies and gentlemen, the food goes in the glass jar on the middle station when you are done. If your paper clip is toasted because it's been stuff burned on it and things like that, you can take it off and grab a new one. They are sitting there. If something happens to the tab on your can, put the can on the cart in the front there, grab a new can, but make sure you don't grab one of the Mountain Dew Zeros, because they do not have a hole in the top of their tab. I have plenty of other cans for you to use. If your can starts to get sooty and dirty, just take it to the sink and rinse it. That is the reason that we do the mass and everything over again, in case you leave some water on it or things like that. The mass may be slightly different from time to time, but as long as you take it when you start the experiment and take it again when you are supposed to after you add the water, you will be fine. Make sure you get all of your information. Okay? With the food, the chips and the marshmallows burn quickly. So you got to make sure you're watching your water, you're watching the temperature. The macadamia nut will probably, bless you, burn for about 10 minutes if you let it. There is no reason to let it burn for 10 minutes. After 3, 4, 5 minutes, when you've got a 5, 10, 15 degree temperature change, that is plenty good. Take and blow out the macadamia nut. Let it cool, get your final temperature. Take it to your balance, get your final mass, and move on to your next food. Everything is out in the middle table. The chips are out, the marshmallows are out, the macadamia nuts are out. If you didn't get something, you got to get it. Today is the last day for you collecting material. If there is no paper clip at your station, go to the middle table and grab one. If there is no can at your station, grab one out of the box or grab one out of the cart. Questions, ladies and gentlemen?
What if your partner's not here?
Well, then you have two choices. You can work alone or you can work with somebody else, but I don't guarantee they're going to need the same ones that you need. So it's your choice.
Well, you work by yourself.
That was the first choice I gave Zoe. You can work on your own or you can work with a different partner. Okay? Everything is still set up back there. Everything is out when you need it. The first thing I would do when I go back is turn on the balances to give them a little bit of time to warm up. Go to work, ladies and gentlemen. Save the pieces of that tea so that, you don't drop it and break it and things like that. Good thing it's a plastic container.
Correct. Do you have? Oh, you do have paper towel.
Is it on the floor?
Some of it.
I will take care of it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Goggles are on the table for you, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen. We're starting on the lab, so with your partner, go ahead and go to work.
Goggles before you start your first.
Two things, remember, goggles only do you good if they're on your face, covering your eyes.